I guess I just purposely wasn't thinking about music or chose somebody who was important in my world, I guess, and still is. So this guy, I guarantee nobody will know who he is who looks at, rock magazine or something. He's a writer and an entrepreneur, and he is a commentator who does a podcast with two other pretty important. One is, her name's Emily Bazelon, and she's a law professor at Yale and writes for New York Times Magazine.
2.2 million people in prison and jail right now than any other comparable country, and our rates are just off the charts.
And then John Dickerson, who is a journalist who interviews a lot of political figures here in America.
Meanwhile, the president-elect was doing the things you would expect an incoming president to do, which was itself notable, because for the last 4 years, the president has delighted and been rewarded by his base for doing nothing that was expected.
And they have this podcast, it's called the Slate Political Gabfest, that I listen to religiously every week and have been for many years.
In the comparison, he said, well, if you discount the deaths in blue states, we're doing pretty well, when he was talking about COVID. I mean, he really thinks about every issue in this way, in a way that's so poisonous for the country.
It's difficult to find people who talk about politics in an objective way now here in America. I've always followed politics, but I would say the past 10 years or something, I've really, for obvious reasons, become very interested in politics. The three of them actually are really the most sober voices. You get through a week watching the news and I feel very confused at the end of the week. And then when I listen to them talk about it, they're able, in 15 minutes to articulate something in a way that makes it all make sense. They're just incredibly smart, and they have different strengths and weaknesses, and they really play off each other. He's a little bit of a conservative, David Plotz, and it's hard to understand where he is on the left to right political spectrum, because he deals with every issue by thinking about the facts around that issue. So, instead of having a set of conservative issues, he's got a set of issues that he's thought out himself. And, I don't always agree with him, but it's very, very rare to find somebody who is unconnected to like a media outlet. Everybody who talks about liberal politics here in America, just like everybody who talks about conservative politics, they're all part of a camp. They're all part of, liberals, just like conservatives, they have to say 10 things, in a day that are all these sort of litmus tests of liberalism. And David Plotz is really completely a free thinker in that sense.